But let's move into our final topic. We're continuing the NBA draft talk. Hopefully this isn't clickbait. Again, we got a lot of comments on YouTube that we were clickbaiting people with the Zion Williamson is he NBA ready question. Clickbait is being like, oh, here's Zion Williamson's penis, and then like just showing like a cat video. Like we didn't click you into something that and didn't deliver. We talked about. It got off the rails, but we were trying to focus in on if he's NBA ready. We'll focus in and make sure that we do talk about Bol Bol here, the Oregon center, the 7'2" son of Manute Bolt, former NBA player for the Washington Bullets. We'll be talking about him and how he compares to a different unicorn of the New York Knicks and Kristaps Porzingis. Dave, you threw out this comparison. What screamed KP in Bol Bol's game?
It's honestly the shot. They both have roughly their same height, but it's a
KP 7'3", or no, I think the KP 7'2", Bol Bol 7'3".
Yeah, they're right there. And honestly, the comparison for me just goes to they both are bigs who have a really nice shot and who both have a pretty good propensity for ball handling for their height and size. I know that they are different physically because Bol Bol is much slimmer. And he does not have the same intensity that KP had coming out of Europe. Obviously, KP was a super physical and super athletic guy who was incredible in transition, aggressive on the slams, aggressive anywhere in the post. But we loved him because he could stretch the floor. Bol Bol is different in the fact that he is a soft touch around the net. He has a sweet turnaround shot, and he can stretch the floor everywhere out there. Like, it's just, he is a weird combination of people, and I wonder with his size and his stature, like, the best guy I could come back to was KP still.
I think the three that come to my mind, and correct me if I'm wrong, at least in my comparisons, I think KP is a fair one.
Yeah.
I think the other one would be Mohamed Bamba, because obviously he's fresh in people's mind. Obviously, long guys, I think 7'9" wingspan for Mo Bamba.
Yeah.
Bol Bol's reported one 7'8". So lanky guys going to be able to block a ton of shots. That's something that people are always going to draw their connections to.
Absolutely.
And then the other one is a dominant big man as well in Joel Embiid. And obviously we saw Joel Embiid be very skinny in Kansas.
Dude,
and now we see
the funny thing is, you look at the comparison, Embiid looks like a brick shithouse compared to Bol Bol right now. Like,
oh, you're talking like Kansas?
No, his Kansas Joel Embiid still looks bigger. But now seeing Joel now in the NBA.
Joel Kansas to Embiid now is ridiculously different. He looks like a stick. But yeah, I mean, those were the three guys that came to my mind. Any other guys that came to your mind, or were those the three that came?
I mean, look, you can if you grab bits
Jaren
and pieces,
Jackson as well a little bit.
Yeah, if you grab bits and pieces of different people's games, because obviously the shot is smoother than it should be for a big man of his size. I looked back at some highlights of like Cat during college. Cat was really a big proponent of like his jab step creating similar to like Carmelo Anthony even. So his moves aren't quite. I can't compare him. Cat's out of the running for that. I think you're right in the defense of Bamba. He has the right mentality. He has enough lateral quickness to kind of gap close on people when they try to sidestep around him to really shut down that baseline drive. I don't want to say it, but like some of his post moves do kind of remind me of like Hakeem Olajuwon early days. Like if you go back,
that's big.
And that's why I'm saying some. I'm not saying he is the next Hakeem. I'm not saying anything along those lines. I'm saying his post moves, his touch around the net, very similar, great soft hands, and he has a good feel for it. In the lane, he just little floaters as far as in playing outside of the paint. But the big thing for me is that turnaround game. Like I don't know. That's why I go to KP, because he's the only man above 7 feet who I've seen hit turnaround shots on guys and do it smoothly.
You're forgetting one.
All right.
Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk is 7 feet tall, hitting turnaround jumper. So I mean, that's a guy who kind of took that.
But Dirk plays with a different size to him than
no. But I'm just saying, like, if you're not throwing out the GOAT of turnaround jumpers for 7-footers, people are gonna get pissed off. I'm saving your ass.
No, I apologize. You're correct. I apologize. You are correct.
But I wouldn't compare him to Dirk at all. And I kind of saw. I understood when I was watching KP highlights, because it's been a while since we've been seeing him play. I think it was December when he left. With his injury, and obviously we haven't seen him back this year. Rewatching it, I noticed the tenacity as well of KP's game that did stick out. And like when you saw blocks for Bol Bol, it was closing out on shooters. That was really impressive for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know how he's going to do in post situations, because so far the teams that he's been going up against, like Syracuse has guys that might be pros, and Brissett and I'm forgetting the other guy, Battle. But those guys are wings. Like they're not going to be going up and posting up against Bol Bol. And then he's going up against like Eastern Washington. He's going up against Portland State. He went up against Iowa, but they lost in that game. And he did have 4 blocks in that game as well. And one thing that I have been impressed too is outside of that Portland State game, he hasn't been in foul trouble. But I don't really see him as like a defensive stud. Like KP is a monster defensively, and you would look at Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is Defensive Player of the Year stud-wise, and we kind of projected that for Mohamed Bamba. I think he might be more in like he's going to be a very good rim protector, but I don't know if he's going to be like Defensive Player of the Year status. Like I don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to change your defense like a Rudy Gobert or a Joel Embiid level type. Like he's going to be I don't think he's going to be a negative defensively, but I don't think he's going to be a huge positive where he's changing your team defensively. He's obviously going to be able to block shots, which is huge. But like he doesn't have that tenacity and that ability to attack like Kristaps does.
True.
And he's a little bit smoother than KP, but KP does have a smoothness to his game, and also KP's shot I feel is more NBA ready than Bol Bol's.
That's where I would disagree.
You look at threes from KP, and they're quick, they're rapid fire, they're gone. Like they're, and I'm not saying that Bol Bol does not have a fantastic shot for his size.
But were they there in 2015 is my question to you. His Euro, remember, that's where we have to compare it back to.
I was comparing 2017 KP.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at KP now.
Okay.
And KP now, it's very similar, starts near the waist and then ends up like here. But like KP, it's like boom, boom, boom. Like it's
he has a solid motion.
It's ridiculously quick. Where Bol Bol, it's very like mechanical. Like it's a little bit limbering. So if he's going up against a guy who's expecting that 3-pointer to come, and he's tall enough to block it, because I mean, again, Bol Bol when he has it at this peak, he's not even like off his tippy toes; it's above his head. So it's already at like 7'4". But one thing that he doesn't have is quickness. So even when he's bringing it up, maybe a guy can swat it out of his hands. So I think the biggest thing that I worry about Bol Bol is his quickness. How quick can he be up against elite athletes?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't going up against elite post players so far. I haven't seen him go up against that type of player. And, we haven't seen him go up against, like, if he's going up against DeAndre Ayton, Jaren Jackson,
give him
Bamba,
a big guy, someone with
like?
muscle on his body. And you're right. In the post, that's where he could be. He definitely has a propensity to be a liability, because he is 7'3" and weighs about $180.
235.
Feels like $180.
Yeah, I mean,
like you look at him and he just his body type does not put on mass. Like his diet,
his father was the same way as well.
Exactly,
His
and that's
dad was a stick.
It's incredible, because that's just I feel like he's cursed. I watched a documentary on him, his time going from basically basketball camps, basically for high school, and like trying to put on like his calorie diet and like the amount of food he constantly eats, and it just doesn't convert to muscle mass. He is what he is, and that's cool, but I wonder about that body shape and size in the NBA, and can he be out there playing 33 minutes a night in the NBA going up against guys who have that solid muscle mass to them, bumping in the low post, or is he a guy who's going to be like an NBA 4, even with his size and stature? He's going to be outside playing more of a 4 role.
And that's where we see guys like Dirk and KP thrive, is at that 4 and not at that 5, like a Joel Embiid, a Mo Bamba, or even a Hakeem for that matter of fact as well. And looking at his father, you're 100% right. His dad was not able to put on any muscle mass at all. He was, I think 201 pounds was his listing at 7'7", so obviously he was not able to have that ability to add on that muscle. But also we have, it's 30 years now since.
Right. I mean, we've
Manute
come a long way in nutritional science.
So and Manute does look, Bol Bol does look a little bit more thicker than his dad. I mean,
his dad was also had
crazy.
5 inches on him.
Yeah,
so that's
for sure.
His legs look like toothpicks.
Well, and I think that's a plus for Bol Bol.
Yeah, I agree.
Is his ability to at least be shorter, at least have a little bit more weight to him, and have his center of gravity a little bit more down. But again, that speed is something that I will worry about, because he might be able to abuse a couple guys. Like he might be able to go up against like a Brook Lopez, who's not like the quickest and fleetest of foot and best defender in the post, and be able to beat him up. But if he's going up against a Rudy Gobert, if he's going up against a Joel Embiid, will he get shut down? Because we even see guys who do have that body size, that quickness, and that offensive touch, like a Karl-Anthony Towns, get absolutely shut down. And we don't really know about his motor. We really don't know about his next level game competitiveness because we really haven't seen Bol Bol in those situations yet. But there is a ton of potential with him. I absolutely love what I've seen so far from him in college. I just don't know if it's ever going to translate to the NBA game. And again, the reason why I say that is because when we were talking about does he compare to Kristaps Porzingis, Kristaps has that tenacity. He has that ability to throw down vicious dunks, attack the lane, even chase down blocks, and just swat balls with massive authority. Yeah. And it looks like he is has that competitive, that next level edge. Yep. I don't think we saw that until KP was in the NBA. So obviously Bol Bol has time to turn into that. But at least what I've seen so far is Bol Bol has been able to get by on his length and his ability to be in
He's a finesse
positioning.
Player at 7'2", which is insane.
Yeah, but I don't know how that's really going to work when you're going up against athletes and like true athletes and not like finesse guys.
Level of competition is totally gonna be different between like you said, kids at Iowa State, Eastern Washington versus NBA level centers and fours.
And maybe that's me being closed-minded because one of my favorite players right now is Nikola Jokic, who's an extreme finesse player and is one of the best centers in the league because of his ability to get by. So again, these are worries that we have with him, but the potential and the positives are there.
It's incredible. He's a top 10 prospect right now in college basketball.
You could argue like even top 5.
Potentially, yeah. No doubt. I mean, his recent performance, he's been disgusting. I mean, 26, 9 and 3 steals, 4 blocks, 1 assist.
I think he's had 3 or 4 blocks in every single game.
Yeah, you are correct. He's a monster, but do you also have the same? Do you have the durability concerns to the point where looking at KP's injury time, knowing that bigs historically have not been able to stay healthy when they're above 7 feet tall, and their knees, their backs, their ankles are all constant points of concern? Would you feel comfortable drafting him in the top 5, in the top 10? Like, where is your comfort level on that?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we have seen is, like, out of the guys that we have been talking about, obviously they've panned out because they've been so talented on the floor. Right. And even KP has had his own share of injury problems. Joel Embiid has had his own share of injury problems. We all know that. We look at Dirk. Dirk has been to Germany several times to fix his back, his knees. Mo Bamba, luckily, has not had any of that. There's a big worry there, but if he shows that talent, it doesn't matter because obviously people can look back and can be like, all right, well, his talent was worth the spot he was drafted at. Right. Like when we look back on the KP draft, if KP never plays a game, we're not going to really think KP was a bust. KP was just, too aggressive and we never dealt with somebody who was 7 feet tall tearing their ACL like that. So, it's just a horrible circumstance, and that's really not a bust. It's just unfortunate situations. So I think that, again, if he continues to show out like this, and we continue to see this unicorn ability from Bol Bol on the offensive side, I think this definitely lends to a top 5 pick. Because obviously Zion, Cam, RJ, you've got to throw in Romeo Langford because I love that kid. Those guys are going to be fighting out for the top 5, but you're talking about Romeo Langford not having a shot and being a guy who consistently drives to the hole. If people see Bol Bol and his ability to stretch the floor and kind of be that unicorn, he might be able to jump a guy like Romeo Langford. He might be able to jump a guy like Cam Reddish, who's not he's the third man on that Duke team, not getting a ton of love. I know that is leading people to think that he's underrated, like Jake. Yeah, Jake thinks he's super
given his own
on,
spotlight,
being underrated.
Yeah,
maybe he's going to be able to jump, Cam Reddish because Bol Bol does have a spotlight. So I think that the biggest concern that I do have with Bol Bol is his I have 2 concerns. Is his durability, which is clear because obviously, we don't know how guys like this can really bounce back from injuries, and obviously they have so much to deal with, so much movement, so much force that they're putting on their bodies. It's tough for them to stay healthy. But then second, I don't know if he has enough athleticism to stay up with, 5s. And if he doesn't, he's going to have to find ways like Nikola Jokic does to make sure he's a viable player out there. Because if he doesn't have that ability to do that and go up against great bigs, then he's going to be screwed. I mean, Jokic also has the ability to put his butt in somebody and really, knock him around using his strength because he is so much bigger than people. Like, he's a guy that can go up into the post.
No, you're absolutely correct.
Put his body into somebody and back them down. I don't know if Bol Bol is going to be able to do that to other players. So that's
better
my
comparison
concerns.
then. Very recent draft pick, Thon Maker.
He's
Offensive
better
talent.
than Thon. He's better than Thon, or at least he's further on than Thon, because everyone loved Thon high school wise. We didn't see him in college at all.
Right.
But also
he was an offensive talent. He's a 7-footer. He had a good stroke from the outside. Looked okay with the ball in his hands.
I mean, he looked great with the ball in his hands in high school.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Well, if he, assuming he was a high schooler, 28-year-old Thon Maker. No, I'm just fucking with you. But no, like, that's a guy who I look at him as someone who, obviously, he's had his struggles in the NBA. He did not continue developing at the same rate we hoped he would, but he's still very much a viable player and can continue to grow in the NBA on this Milwaukee team. Awesome potential. We just spent, quite a bit of time talking about them. Mm-hmm. But do you see him as someone where we should expect? I mean, he was a guy who was drafted on potential in the top. What draft pick was he? Was he like
11?
He was pretty high.
I think it was 11.
So I think that
I'll
alone,
double check, but I think it was 11 or 10.
The fact that Thon Maker was drafted that high off of potential, and what we're seeing Bol Bol do in college against college level talent, makes me want to say he should probably be in between 4 and 7 right now
10.
On people's boards. Like, the potential's there. He's got size. He's got hands that have a great finesse touch. Like I said, my only concern keeps going back to injuries. I'm like, I look at him and I go, he could play, in between 25 and 30 minutes a night and be able to put up, pretty impressive number. Probably around 15 a night, like, without a doubt, because his shot is so advanced for his size and his age. That's the most confusing thing to me.
We are seeing guys with that size, with that shot. I mean, Jaren Jackson is a guy with it's not.
Jaren Jackson shoots like a goddamn catapult, but it goes in.
But yeah,
he doesn't have a pretty shot.
Mo Bamba as well. We've seen him working on his shot. Obviously, we haven't really seen it work out too much in the NBA, but he is a guy that's been putting effort
He's a guy who
into
struggles more, and that's where I'm like, I think Bol Bol translates better to the NBA because of that shot. Because I think he can get some more minutes out there.
I mean, the thing is that I think Mo Bamba translated more because of his defense. Because a big thing about Mo Bamba was he wasn't getting by just because of his wingspan. His defensive positioning was there. And there's more, just looking at Bol Bol's lineage, there's more opportunity for Mo Bamba to bulk up than there is Bol Bol. And another thing as well is, although, not Thon Maker.
Mo
Bamba isn't advanced offensively as Bol Bol is. I think there still was those spurts where you saw he possibly could add that to his game down the line, especially being 19 years old.
You hope that, and that's the thing, is I think he is more of a detriment offensively than Bol Bol is defensively.
That's fair.
And that's why I think that
fair, but I think
he can get more minutes on the court earlier in his career, and obviously not being on the Orlando Magic is going to be his biggest benefit.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Hey, I swear to God, if they draft him, oh my God.
But I think with Mo Bamba is, again, like, you're right that he
situationally has a problem, but his game, because of the way it's balanced out, like, he is a detriment offensively. Like, he takes away from their offensive flow. Yes, in the right system, he could absolutely be used in large minutes.
But with Mo Bamba, it's also only been 15. It's only been 15 games.
I know.
And another
with
thing
Bol
too,
Bol, it's been 4
with another
plus all of his other highlights.
But at least with Mo Bamba, like, translating offensively,
okay,
like, he is a guy that, again, it's only been 15 games, and he isn't turning the ball over a ton when he is out there, which is something that I do like. And he is getting a ton of personal. He's getting a lot of personal fouls if you expand it to 36 minutes. And, like, you look at his offensive defensive rating, like, it isn't terrible. Like, his offensive rating is like 113. His defensive rating is like 107.
Yeah,
like,
no,
it's tough to be a good defensive player on that Orlando Magic team.
Yeah.
I think that, again, like, he's not being asked to do a ton in that Orlando Magic offense, so I really don't think we can say he's a detriment to that Orlando Magic offense. Because, again, like, he's not turning the ball over, and he's not getting enough shots to be like, oh, well, we can't give him the ball. I think that Mo Bamba, again, he's got a lot of room to grow, where Bol Bol, it's like, where does he have to grow exactly? Because obviously we think he can get bigger, but, like,
we don't know if we can get bigger is the question.
Yeah, but we think that he, like, at least realistically,
Yeah.
like in an ideal world, you think that with him being that big and this small, that he could get bigger.
Yeah,
like that's an idea.
There's the hope
Obviously,
that he will be able to fill out with some muscle.
we don't know if his genetics
career.
if he can, but at least like offensively, I don't know exactly where he can at least grow because Mobamba's more athletic, I think, than Bol Bol. So that's why we think he can grow offensively because he is more athletic. I think he's got more speed and he's got that tenacity. Where Bol Bol, I don't think he's as fleet-footed as Mobamba is. And I think that he does have that smoothness to his game, but really, can you get more smoother than that? Like, and he's already shooting from 3, so it's like,
but not at a high. Well, at a fairly high rate, at 33% right now, taking 3 a game. And just to give you the comp, let me just double check that.
Bamba was under 30, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
in college. But it's like I just don't know where he can grow. Really, Bol Bol, like in his game, like what are we gonna have him bring the ball up? Like no, like
but you can continue to polish his game.
But where do you think he needs to polish offensively? Because the biggest thing that I think he needs to do is just be able to make sure.
I think for him it's aggression. It's 100% offensive aggression because you're playing college basketball. You're 7'2". There's not many matchups that are a disadvantage for you. Mm-hmm. That Oregon team offensively, his per 100 possession offensive rating, defensive rating is 115. And then 80 defensive rating. Bamba was 118.89. So it's interesting that ends up being, and I know it's still early, but like slightly, they're right around the same range for both of those. But for me, it's that aggression in the low post where he should be able to finish more around the rim. And I feel like he is still deferring out or not take advantage of those possessions,
And one thing too that I think, at least in that aggression, is when and this is in the half court, not the full court, because we have seen him take the ball, bring it up, and then attack.
Yeah.
We saw him try to throw a floater up in that Syracuse game. Wasn't able to get it, but I think he either got fouled or grabbed his own board and got fouled, something like that. But one thing in the half court is I haven't seen aggression there. Like, all right, he has a top of the key, now he's going to drive. We saw that from Obama, but he threw down a sick dunk. A lot of KP's game, like we see him baseline. He gets the ball there and like just in front of the three-point line. Now he's going to dribble in and he's going to put his body into him. And he's going to drive to the hole. I don't think we are going to see that in Bol Bol's game. And I don't think he's going to do that because he knows he's going to get blown up because he's not big enough. And if we don't think he's going to get big enough, then he's not going to see that game change. Like that's why I'm saying I don't think he can really change his offensive game that much because he's not going to be able to grow and he's not going to be able to get quicker.
Right.
So I don't think there's that ability to become a massively dynamic offensive player where you're like a number one option like Kristaps was.
Yeah, I'm just saying he could take more threes. Right now it's only 1.5 a game.
But if he takes more threes, like what is that?
Well,
going
that's the thing is where do you want him to get? Like, do you want him to be like for me? I'm be more aggressive in the low post, but also take more threes. I think there's always room for him to grow. I think that what you see right now is a template. It's like you could go one direction or another. And how do you want to have him build out? Because he's like a freaking creative player in 2K.
Yeah.
Like he's outrageously talented offensively. And like you said, he 3 blocks, 4 blocks, 4 blocks, 4 blocks, multiple steals in games. He's doing everything you want out of, a 7-footer and then some. The only thing he can't do is bump down low. But like if you want a big guy down low, look at what Boban's doing right now. Like he's limited minutes. You can't keep him out on the floor because it's a liability because he can't run in transition. People run him off the court in switches. So I'm more inclined to like Bol Bol's position because of his size, because of his quickness. I know quickness in some for whatever. It's all relative. That's my point is like I think he's got the ideal body shape and stroke for a player to be a modern 4. I can't wait to see him continue to grow, hopefully light it up a little bit more from the outside. But Oregon's got a weird system where I don't know if he'll get that opportunity to bring those 3-point attempts up enough.
My thing is even if he's bringing up those the attempts,
yeah.
I don't know if again his stroke is smooth and like if he's in an open gym it's going to be fine. But I'm talking about if he's going up against defenders that aren't 6'8". Like if he's going up against guys that are his size, I think they'll be able to close out on a shot unless he quickens up that stroke. Because again, I think it's very slow getting to that top point where he's at 7'4". Again, he has it here and it takes very long for him to get it here
above his head. Yeah.
So I think again it's tough for him to again be like, all right, well now you're going to be taking 7 threes a game. Good luck. Because again, guys are going to be able to see, all right, he doesn't have that hand speed to get it up quick enough.
Yeah.
I think
well,
a lot.
You talk about areas to improve. There's your area. You just said it.
But I don't think it's going to improve.
Oh, okay.
Is my thing, because
you think what he is today is what he'll be as a product going ready to the NBA.
Well, again, like he might make a little more tweaks. He might get a little bit quicker, but like I don't think it's going to be that drastic, because I think that again, you are pushing that body so much already, and you're pushing the athletic abilities enough already.
Yep.
Because people have been teaching him how to play the game of basketball since he was born, because he's the son of Bol Bol or Manute Bol, who's was one of the freaks. Like he's an amazing player, just a crazy human.
Combination
of
there. Size and athleticism. Yeah,
and we even saw Manute firing off threes. Like I think he was in the Warriors, and he hit like 5 threes in the game. Yeah. And it was just like sinking them, like nothing but net.
Yep.
I think that people have been teaching him how to play the game of basketball. So it's like, this is what he's been comfortable doing, and it's tough to change a shot. And we saw this with Markelle Fultz. Like, you don't really want to change a shot, because then you can just totally screw up somebody's like momentum. So it's like
I didn't even touch that one.
He can make adjustments.
Yeah.
But we have to be critical in some way, because again, like, we can't just be like, hey, he's going to turn into next Kristaps Porzingis. There's definitely ways that he can. There's ways that he can become an offensive powerhouse and be like Kristaps and be a two-way, help, because Kristaps is great at protecting the rim. But also just being critical, I don't think there's a lot of room for him to grow outside of quickening up his game, because I don't think he's going to get bigger. So he's not going to be really a low post threat against every single option.
Right.
And then I don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to be able to take 7 threes, 5 threes a game, because he's not quick enough on that shot. So again, he's going to be able to, if he's going to make it in the NBA, he's going to have to make adjustments like everybody. Nikola Jokic made those adjustments. Kristaps has made those adjustments.
Jokic slowed down on the cheeseburgers.
Yeah. And I think Bol Bol needs to pick it up. But I think there's ways for him to get better, without a doubt. But I'm just worried about, again, where he can grow, because I think that you're already pushing the human limits of being 7'3", being from that lineage of not being able to put on a ton of weight, and then having that 7'8" wingspan. I think it's tough to really expand on that. And if he's not able to expand on that, then we're going to see possibly a bust, unfortunately. But if he does expand on that, we might see an all-star. So
could see another unicorn.
Yeah, I think it's interesting.
Out of the bottom teams in the league right now, which one do you think would be the best fit for him? Cleveland, Atlanta, Phoenix, New York, Chicago, Washington, Miami, Brooklyn, Minnesota. We'll just leave it at the top 10.
The top 10?
Yeah. Because I'm still very much in the party of he deserves to be a top 10
He's
pick.
100%.
The question is, how far into the top 5 can he go with those concerns?
Again, with everything I've said, he's top 10 for sure. I think he's, in my mind, top 7 to top 5. Like I think he's 5 to 7 right now in my mind, where I would put him out of college prospects. So looking at that, because when you threw off all those,
sorry,
I totally forgot.
Cleveland. You can.
Cleveland most likely will have number 1.
Yep.
And if not, they're going to be a bottom 3 team. And I think they'd go with a Zion, an RJ, a Cam, a Romeo. I think they need a guy who's going to be a game changer and can have the ball in their hands, although they did take Colin Sexton. I think they need a wing that's going to be dynamic. Again, Ricky's biggest thing is you can't be a 5 and win an NBA championship. Although I think he's wrong, because you can be a number 1 like Anthony Davis and win an NBA championship. You need to attack those wings more than the 5. Like,
guy we didn't mention the whole segment when we were talking about 7-footers with a shot. I mean, obviously, AD was on a different level defensively in college, but,
Well, he was pretty damn good offensively in college, too.
Yeah, just the last remark for me is him, literally being a...
did he get shut down in the championship game?
Yeah,
or was
literally.
It?
He didn't. I don't think he made one shot or something in the championship game, and he won it off of pure defense, and it was incredible.
Mm-hmm. And Anthony Davis was able to add a shot. But again, Bol Bol already has a shot.
That's what I'm saying.
But
it's not apples. It's apples and oranges. But at the same time, it's like you want to model a player after someone.
But that was also different times. Like he came out in 2011, 2012, and we really weren't, trying to be like, all right, everyone needs to shoot threes.
Unicorn.
Well, AD was a guy the thing about AD, he was 6'10", 220.
Yeah.
So he already had his he was already like a man. He was already able to go down
235, right?
7'3", 235.
Yeah.
But that's different than 6'11", 220, because there's a lot more weight.
It's around there.
Not really. Because that's 4 inches shorter and only 15 pounds different.
Yeah.
I think we have a 15-pound difference, and it's not that different. Like
maybe.
80
Sorry,
was,
let's get back
was more
on,
of a man in my opinion.
Let's get back on team fit maybe for early in the season.
But Cleveland, I don't think it's gonna. I don't see a fit there because I don't think you draft a 5 if you're them. Atlanta already has John Collins
and Amari Spellman. They picked up late this year.
I don't think that really fits their role. Phoenix, they just drafted Ayton. I don't think they really. Maybe at the 4. Maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe if
they're still figuring out their wing situation.
Yeah, if they're around, but I think they're probably looking at some of the point guards that are out there, like a Langford.
If they're not,
Garland.
Someone's getting fired.
Knicks, I don't think so, because if we're comparing them to KP, I don't think they're going to go and try to pick up another big man with possible injury problems. Chicago has too many big men. Maybe Washington, because
Markieff Morris is not exactly
safe.
Yeah.
Well, they might trade him, and then also, he has the connection with his father being a bullet.
That could be cool.
Miami, I don't know. Like Brooklyn has Jared Allen.
But
Dallas?
playing the 4, you put him at the 4 with Brooklyn next to Jared Allen.
What about Dallas?
Dallas could be.
If they maintain
maintain
DeAndre Jordan, and then you put Bol Bol there. I mean, that's going to be
depends on the contract
city.
with Harrison Barnes, what they do, but
I would say
Dallas is interesting. Brooklyn's interesting.
Minnesota too. I mean, if you add that next to Cat, but I don't think Cat's gonna be playing the 5.
I would not.
So Dallas and Brooklyn, I think we're looking at the bottom because I don't think he's gonna fall past
Washington,
those teams.
Dallas, Brooklyn.
Yeah, Washington, Dallas, Brooklyn, or maybe Miami.
Interesting.
But yeah, well, Miami too, because you can put Bam at the 5 and then Bol Bol at the 4. So I think Miami,
so it looks
Brooklyn,
like
and Dallas.
secure in the top 10 and some potential good fits.
Is it gonna be like KP? Yes or no?
Define like KP. Are you saying injured often?
No. When healthy, he will be a two-way force. And
Ooh,
be
a 20-plus a game score?
Yeah, a 20-plus game scorer and an all-star in the East. Or all-star, just in general.
I don't know if he'll be an all-star, but I think he can be an 18-point-a-game scorer and a two-way player. I'm going to compromise. I'm not going to... So no to your question, but I think he's still going to be a above-average 4 in the
I think
NBA.
he can be a light version of those. I think he can be a good two-way player.
Yep.
In the sense of he's not your best defender, but he's going to be a guy who can stat pad and he can get blocks.
Yep.
And I think he could be. I think he's going to be better Thon Maker, worse Kristaps.
Yeah, I think there's a decent range in there.
A way there because
it's a wide range actually.
Yeah.
But...
Well, I think in just the ways of Thon is not a starter, right?
Yeah. That failed pretty bad.
Bol Bol will be a starter, but he's not going to be an all-star. So I think he's going to be a quality starter, but I don't think he's ever going to be an all-star level player. I think maybe his max is like 15 points a game. Because I don't see a team that he's ever going to be the number 1 scorer, the number 1 option. Even then, I don't think he's ever going to be the number 2 option. Unless
he
in
could.
his rookie or second year. I don't see that offensive ability for him.
I think he can come close to 20 a game in the NBA.
It's high.
I know.
But
he's also high. Like he's a tall player.
Yeah,
he's close to the net.
But even if that happens, it's going to have to be in like his 8th or 9th year.
I don't know.
His career high is not going to happen right away. I think he's going to have a similar...
I hope not. I hope he doesn't Tyreek Evans it.
I think he's going to have a similar growth to like a Mo Bamba. Like maybe puts up more points, like maybe like 10 his rookie year, but it's not going to be like 10 his rookie year, then he's going to go up to 15.
I mean, we haven't seen
a
big man with his offensive skill set come into the league with the level of prep that he has. That's the cool thing. Mm-hmm. Like no one's had this polished of a offensive skill set above 7 feet coming into the NBA. I can't think of a single person.
Ayton.
Ah, shit. I hate that I literally forgot about DeAndre Ayton.
Well, he's like 7 foot. So when you're thinking of like these guys, you're thinking of like...
Well, he's 7 foot in shoes, yeah.
Yeah, but you're thinking more of like these like true 7 foot giants.
Give me
like,
7 pluses.
Ayton was not like crazy. Like no. Ayton was a normal kid. Like obviously, well, not normal kid because he's 7 feet, 242 in a brick shithouse. But
I oversight.
Like he's a normal NBA player. Where like again, we're calling like we would never call DeAndre Ayton a unicorn. Bol Bol is.
I think Bol Bol gets measured in at 7'4".
Yeah,
I think that I don't know.
His measurements are really scary.
I don't know. He's done growing.
Yeah. That's scary too. But let us know your comment in the comments down below what you think about Bol Bol. I know Ricky has some thoughts, and we'll definitely talk a little bit more about it.
We'll be back to Bol Bol again. We're going to be doing some draft stuff, pretty often.
Oh, and we have a ton of mocks coming out. I think our first one's going to be in December. we wanted to say first or second week in December. So we're closing in on our first mock draft. But anyways, let us know your thoughts about Bol Bol down in the comments below. Don't forget to rate us 5 stars on iTunes if you have the opportunity. We greatly appreciate it. It's free, it's quick, it's easy. We're trying to get up to like 40 ratings on iTunes. Just give us a 5-star. You don't have to leave a comment. If you do want to leave a comment, we'd appreciate it. But if you do have the time, we'd appreciate if you gave us a 5-star rating on iTunes. Get better, Ricky. You'll see him next week on the podcast. For Dave Oster, I'm Sean Anderson. We'll see you next time.